I know this message is for someone. If you are a Christian or someone who has been kind of Christian, you call yourself a Christian, but you haven't been putting God first in your life, maybe ever, or maybe just not in a long time, or even for a short while. However, if you are not living for God, if you are living a very sinful lifestyle, but you know the truth, that you know God is real, then what are you doing? You need to go to God. Whatever you're doing, if it's not of God, it's going to make your life miserable. It's going to mess up so many things. Let me put you in my shoes. Okay, I grew up in a Christian home. I never didn't believe in God. But I was you have to find God. You have to seek him. You have to just being in a Christian house isn't necessarily enough to just go full into fully trusting God with everything, right? You have to truly seek God. Um you know what I mean. So I was baptized when I was, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8. I didn't being that young, I didn't necessarily fully understand everything. I mean, to be fair, even now at 28, there's still things that I don't quite wrap my head around, to be honest. To be fair, I think we're all in some sort of way like that. But I got baptized because I didn't see why not, and it just looked fun. It was at I think it was at our pastor's house, and it was in this pool outdoors. It was a really nice day. It just looked fun. Um, but the thing is, I grew up and I didn't have this close relationship with God until I went to church camp in my teens, and I really fell in love with God there. I really started to understand what God was early in my teen years, in those years at Bible camp. Um, so I started speaking in tongues there. I was just on fire. I could feel the butterflies. You feel that when God, the Holy Spirit enters you, like truly, you feel like butterflies in your stomach. You feel all bubbly. They call it like being drunk in the Spirit, and it's just like uh, there was nothing, no physical substance that was causing me to feel all wacky and lightweight and off. But like, there is a genuine uh, change in your life that happens in that moment. And I don't know if everyone necessarily feels that when they truly find God. And there's a lot of people, be careful, there is a lot of people that call themselves Christian that have never truly known God. They're just going by just what people say, and they're just like, uh, they probably believe in God, but they're just waiting for God to show them something, for them to like see real evidence, whatever it is, and they just don't quite believe yet in their heart. And those are the kind of people, when they say they walk away from the faith. If you walk away from the faith, you never had that moment. You never found God. You never truly known him. If you can say he's not real, then you didn't feel him. You didn't know what it was like to be with him. That's just how it is. And it's tough because I feel like there are people that I've known that have truly felt the presence of God, that truly believed in him, but life just, whatever happens, they just get with the wrong people, they get distracted, the devil gets in their head, whatever, and maybe they didn't stop believing in God, but they have not been living for him for a very long time, and that is a very dangerous place to be. So one thing that I really wanted to talk about was that uh so throughout my teen years, while I was strong for God at Bible college, like youth camp, uh, I always, when I wasn't there, I was always deeply sad because I genuinely wished that it was a thing that went on all year round, that you could live there, because I was not strong at all in my faith when I wasn't there. I was not getting fed, and when you don't get fed, you starve. And you are not in a good place when you are starving spiritually, when you don't have God first in your life, when you are not going to church regularly. I have always struggled with sleeping at night. So I often miss church, partially because I couldn't wake up in the morning. So, and part of that was just, I was selfish. I was young. I just would rather just stay home a lot of times, regardless of if I got enough sleep or not. It wasn't my biggest priority. Church often felt like a chore, like something I had to do, and I just didn't like, I just was selfish. So, of course, because I wasn't getting fed spiritually, very little, it was a lot of times in my life where I just was being filled with nonsense, just being selfish. I had this mindset, I didn't understand. I had this mindset for years that I was living in so much sin that I needed to fix myself, that I needed to stop being a sinner, to stop sinning, to go back to God. And this is what I want to tell you. If you feel like you can't go to God, if you can't run back to God because you are such a bad person, because you are living in sin, that is not how God works. Wherever you are, if you are doing great, if you are doing horrible, if you are doing the most evil things, go back to God now, no matter what you are doing. God doesn't have shame in you. He hates your sin, but he wants you. He will pick you up. You need to seek him now. If you try to wait until you are perfect to go back to God, you will never go back to God. It took me years, but I had to learn that, and I just finally, I looked at myself and I was like, my younger self, as a kid, I would be so ashamed at who I am now because of all of the terrible things I think, do. I was like, I can't keep doing this. This is a mess. My life is a mess. It's no wonder my prayers don't get answered, because I'm not trusting God. I'm not putting him first. I'm living so sinfully. And I rarely prayed because I was like, I understood, at least to a certain degree, that like God doesn't listen to your prayers if you're living a very sinful life intentionally. So I was like, I rarely prayed because I was like, I kind of understood that to a degree, so I'm like, I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel like it's right for me to ask God for things when I know I'm intentionally disobeying him. And that's true. But like, with my physical health, with my skin, like it was really, really bad. Like I thought I was gonna die for years because it was just torturing me. I couldn't take hot showers. I couldn't take cold showers. It was burning my skin. It was a lot. But the thing was that I rarely during those times, during those years, was going to God. I was rarely trying to be honest with God, trying to put him first in my life. And that's why I was going through so much pain. When I finally, in like, I'd say a couple years ago, finally just said, God, take it all, just take it. I'm gonna try to put you first in my life. And just so quickly, how much better things got. It really works. My skin has been great. And that is, that God does things that you could never imagine. Shortly after I started taking God serious again, I heard that there was going to be this outdoor concert, church service thing, about an hour out of town, and I was like, I just wanted to get to anything that was very God centered, just stuff that would fill me spiritually. And so I went there, and there was a man there that wasn't part of it, but he was just there on the side, like praying for people. And I saw him heal, through God, the Holy Spirit, heal a woman's leg. And so I went over. Okay, I'm out of time. I'll do another video.